With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Set, ready, secure, exit, check out, three, check.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. Able to fight through one tackle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Check tight. That's the way.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds McLaurin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
17 yards. First down, Washington.
On first down, this is Geis. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Looking to throw, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down.
16 yards. First down, Redskins.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clock.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
From the 27, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll make it 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's got Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Check 43. Watch the safety creep.
They go play action now. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Redskins touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Redskins on third down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Defense wins championships, baby. Well left, well left. 56 to Mike. Come on, baby.
On first down, Roberson pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson got his man. It's Eifert. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Come on, D. Quick. Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, let's get in them holes. Hey, Mike 20. Hustle. Get the ball. There we go, Mike 20. I'm coming. Good.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Watch out. Jump. There. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Shot. 56.
Play action. It's Wilson. It's caught. Block it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Good job right there. 56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. Push him back. Oh, trot.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Throwing is Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 20. Wild Bill.
Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get sixes instead of threes.
That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
They start on the ground with Geis, and they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Haskins. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First down, Redskins.
Check. Lucky.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Slings this deep for McLaurin. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 43 yards. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Geis trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll run on first down. Roberson, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, 0, 0, 0. 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. 14. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Gun. Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now.
Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Play action. Now Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 78 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run with Geis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. He's coming. Double up, double up.
On play action, Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Another try after the first down sack. Haskins, Safarian Jenkins has it. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Haskins on 3rd down. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on first down, Wilson and an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. This is Shepard on the catch. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Check. He learned. Crush.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Mike 20. You. Alert. Flare.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike 29. All day, dog. Deuce.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on. Check 4.
This time, Haskins will look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check 3.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
At the 27-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson got his man. It's Eifert. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, alert. One left. It's the motion. Mike 56, Mike 56.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson on the move to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Switch. Hold.
Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 45-yard line. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. 2nd down and goal. Wilson, the intended receiver, was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd and goal. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Now a toss. This is Geis. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From midfield now, Haskins slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Check the call, check the call. 56, no guys, 4 down. 56. One left. Watch QB drop. 56. Hey, 0. Right there, 56. Hey.
Now Wilson on first down. Now he's flushed out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Reuben Foster in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
To try again after the sack. Wilson escaped, and he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Hey, switch gears.
Now Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And say what you want about CenturyLink Field up in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for the Redskins, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year.